Hey YouTube, Lizzie B here. I wanted to do a video today where I talk about the 4B movement and why I am in alignment with it, but I'm not a part of the movement. What the movement is in the first place. I guess I should have started with that. What the movement is in the first place. Why am I in alignment with the movement, but I'm not considering myself a part of the movement. And just, what I think about it. So let's get started by talking about what the 4B movement is. If you have been living under a rock or just not chronically online like the rest of us, then you might not know that the 4B movement is a new movement where women are opting out of romantic relationships with men, which includes marrying men, dating men, having sex with men, and having children with men. Those are the 4 B's. And the reason why it's called 4B is because the movement originated in South Korea in around 2015 or 2016 as an offshoot of the Me Too movement. And so women in South Korea were fed up with the disparities between how they were being treated and how men are being treated. Korean women decided that they did not want to do the 4 B's. The words are, let me get this right. The B words are bihon, which means no marriage, bichosan, which means no children, bione, which means no dating, and bisexu, which means no sex. So those are the 4 B's, and it's kind of been creeping its way over to America, this movement. It's just picked up momentum in the United States ever since the election of Donald Trump. I know for me as a content creator, I made a few videos like earlier in this year talking about the 4B movement. Those videos have surged in the amount of people who've been searching them and looking at them. And I think that's awesome. I love this movement. I think it's an awesome movement. But I'm gonna get into why I don't really consider myself a part of the movement, but why I still support it and think it's awesome. Okay, so first of all, the reason why I'm clarifying that I'm not a part of the movement is because I don't want to take credit for something that I'm not doing on purpose. I'm not intentionally a part of the 4B movement. So I guess maybe that might be a better way to say it. But the reason why I'm saying this is because I don't need to be held accountable when it comes to what the 4B movement is about. And being that I do social media, I'm on social media, I understand that it would be easy for me to live a double life, a secret life, and be one way online and then offline I'm completely different. But I just want y'all to know that I'm trying to be as transparent as humanly possible. And so if I claim to be a part of the 4B movement and then y'all see me out and about with my man, I don't want nobody saying nothing to me. I don't want anybody saying that she lied. She can't be a this and that and be this and that offline. So that's the reason why I even feel the need to make this video and to talk about it. And to really talk about, just my personal opinions on this. This is what I do anyway. I'm a talker. I'm a yapper. You gonna get my opinion. I'm an opinionated person. The spirit of the online world right now is one where women are fed up.
76 feet away from me is what I need, what I need.
Women are tired, sick and tired. And understandably so, because personally as a woman, out in the dating world, it's not the best place to be. These streets are, it ain't it. You know what I mean? I could go into detail, but that would be its own video. And so if y'all want that video, let me know. But I personally think that it's just disgusting out here. You know what I mean? And everybody kind of sucks, but men really suck extra because of the way they're socialized. Patriarchy is oppressive towards women, and it's based in misogyny, and misogyny sucks. It's terrible. It's awful. And being that women are getting more rights and more freedoms, I think this is creating an entire culture online that's super toxic for men and boys, and that toxicity is coming out into the dating world even more so than it already has been. It's like people are starting to just come out and say the quiet part out loud. With all of this just building tension between men and women, and a lot of the threats that women are experiencing and abuse that women are experiencing at the hands of men, the disproportionate amount of abuse, because there are some women that are abusers, and there are women that abuse each other and abuse men, that kind of thing, and children. But the disproportionate amount, like the overwhelming amount of men who are abusing women, is just, it's astronomical. It's really bad. And so women are getting tired. And then on top of that, Trump being elected, this man is I don't know if I can say these words on YouTube. I don't know if I'm going to be censored, but he's done some really awful things to women and children. This was kind of the last straw for a lot of women, and women have been turning to different movements such as the 4B movement to show their disgust and anger towards men. And so fully support this movement. I think it's an amazing movement. Here's where I stand, however, when it comes to what I'm personally doing in my life, and why I feel like I'm in alignment with the 4B movement, but I can't say that I'm a part of it. Right now, I consider myself, I have the holy trinity going on of my value system. So my values, there are 3 things that I'm honoring within my value system. Thing number 1 is self-respect. So for me, I am very hyper aware right now of making sure that everything that I do is in alignment with my self-respect. And dating, I can't date I can't date men and be a self-respecting person. I consider myself to be a heterosexual woman. And the reason why I'm like, I consider myself to be that way is because I've never dated women. I've never, been in any kind of romantic relationship with women or sexual relationship with women, nothing like that. And so, maybe I'm not heterosexual, but I don't know. And maybe I'll never find out because I'm just right now not interested in anybody. I am asexual at this point, which means not sexually attracted to anyone. I am aromantic, which means not romantically attracted to anyone. So right now in my life, I feel like if I'm staying in alignment with my self-respect, interacting with men romantically or sexually would take away from that. Because in my experiences, when it has come to dating, I find that I cannot date and maintain my self-respect because it's always a negotiation for some reason. And hey, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just an outlier here, but in my experiences with dating, it's always a negotiation of how much disrespect I'm willing to accept. And I'm tired of that. I don't like negotiating that at all. That's not up for negotiation, my self-respect. And so as far as I'm concerned, that is the reason why I am not dating. That's one of the reasons. Like I said, it's the holy trinity of my values. Dating cannot be within that holy trinity, because in my experience right now, as things are in this world, men have been socialized to disrespect you or push push the boundaries of how much they can disrespect you, how much they can get away with. It starts small. It starts, by being late for a date, or it starts just little things, and they're seeing how far they can go. And now that I'm the age that I am, I spot it immediately. I don't like it. So I tend to, the older I get and the more like I'm rigid about my self-respect, dating and self-respect do not go together. Dating men and having self-respect, respecting oneself, does not go together for me. So that takes me out of the running for dating men and for having sex with men. And of course, marriage is off the table if that's the case, because I'm not gonna marry somebody that I'm not dating or doing it with. So there's that. And then on top of that, I do not have a uterus, so I can't have children. And so that is off the table for me as well. So The 4 B's I'm automatically doing on the basis of my value system of not doing anything that does not honor or fall in alignment with my self-respect. So that's thing number 1 of the Holy Trinity. Number 2 is integrity. In my Holy Trinity, I am doing things that fall in alignment with my integrity. And what that means is I do not do anything that I feel like I'm going to regret big time in the future. I feel like up to this point, I've made all of my fundamental major life mistakes. I hope I have, you know what I mean? Like, I hope I'm done with the big fundamental regrets that have taught me some really, really amazing lessons. I imagine that that's where I'm at in my life, is that now I want to make all of my decisions with my integrity in mind, meaning I want to be 80 or 70 years old or however old, and I want to look back on my life and feel like, okay, you know, I'm glad I did this. I made the right decision, or I lived in alignment with my values. And so keeping my integrity is very important for me right now at this point in my life. And so my integrity is about having self-respect, making every decision with self-respect in mind. And so I got to stick to that. And that's what the integrity part is about, is my stick-to-itiveness with what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be consistent. I'm trying to make consistent choices that lead me towards the life that I envision for myself. Right now, sticking to my integrity or honoring my integrity means not doing anything that is going to chip away at my self-respect, and dating men would do that. So that's number 2 on my Holy Trinity hierarchy of values. It's not even a hierarchy, it's just a Holy Trinity of values. Each thing is equally important to me. So integrity is number 2. Number 3 of my Holy Trinity of values, and again, the reason why I'm living the way that I am for the most part, is that I'm only doing what I want to do these days. I do not do things that I don't want to do, and I'm only doing things that I want to do. Now, mind you, this one is a little tricky, this in my Holy Trinity of values, because I feel like there are things that I have to do that I don't want to do, like paying bills and, you know, whatnot. But it's like, ultimately, I'm choosing to do this thing, because this little thing that I don't want to do, because overall, the big things that I want to do, it's contributing to it. So I have to do this thing that I don't want to do to get to the big thing that I want to do. So ultimately, I'm still doing what I want to do, even when it's little, you know, annoying tasks or jobs or whatever that I have to do. So balancing that out, but ultimately I'm not doing anything that I don't want to do, and that is in my Holy Trinity, because I feel like at this age I'm realizing that it's important for me to know what I like and what I don't like. And I spent a lot of time in my youth worried about being accepted and being liked and other people being into me, that I didn't think about whether I liked what I was auditioning for. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't think about whether I was going to enjoy whatever experience, or, you know, what do I want to do? Is this what I want to do? Or is this something that I'm feeling like I have to do? You know what I mean? So I'm at a point now where I'm establishing things that I really like to do, and I'm like really questioning, do I like this thing? Do I want to do this thing? And right now, if I'm being really, really honest, men give me the ick. I'm realizing, especially in hindsight, I'm thinking to myself, wow, you know, a lot of the relationships that I entertained, a lot of the people that I entertained were not people that I really, you know, genuinely liked. I think I was so concerned about proving my value, proving my worth to someone that they should have been proving their worth to me. I don't know if I really like that person. So now I'm at a point where I'm like, I'm only doing what I want to do. I'm only entertaining people and situations that I want to entertain. Like, I don't want to worry about whether I'm liked so much as be concerned or make it my business that I like this thing or this person or this experience, whatever. So that's where I'm at in my life, and that again, aligns with the whole dating thing. Like I said, I have the ick. So where do we go from here? If I don't want to date men, why would I? So this holy trinity, these three things that for me make me feel like I can't date under these conditions. If dating would not be in alignment with my values, dating men would not be in alignment with my values, kind of puts me in the same boat as women who are part of the 4B movement, which is awesome. And that's one of the things that I love about this movement, is because I'm like, yeah, I'm doing that too. It's great. I love it. Like, I've had commentary on it because I see so many similarities in where I'm at and where so many women are at now. However, for me, this is my life. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not eating Raisin Bran to make a point. I'm eating it because I like it. I'm not eating Frosted Flakes because I'm trying to make a point. I'm not eating Frosted Flakes because I don't want to eat Frosted Flakes. This is not to say that people who are participating in a 4B movement are doing something that they don't want to do, or they're doing something strictly to prove a point. But this is to say that I'm not making a statement with what I'm doing. This is just how I'm living my life. Let's say that something happens and I meet the man of my dreams, and I never thought that the ick would be lifted from me, but it's lifted, and you know, I've been delivered, whatever. And I run into, like I said, the man of my dreams, and I want to be with him, and he does not make me, you know, feel like I got to negotiate my self-respect, and he's in alignment with my integrity and my values and whatever. I'm going to pursue that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to pursue that if that is what I want. And it is, like I said, in alignment with my values. I'm going to pursue that if that's what I want, because one of my values is doing what I want. That's yet another reason, because I don't want people to think that I'm wishy-washy or flippy-floppy. I'm not. I'm doing literally what I want, whether there's a movement for it or not. And also, if this movement dies down, if it kind of ends or whatever the case is, then I still have the ick for men, and I'm still going to be doing my thing. So that's part of the reason why I'm like, whether the movement exists or not, I'm not a part of it, because I'm going to do what I want to do regardless. As long as everything falls in line with my holy trinity, I'm good. So that's part of the reason why I say this. And like, I know, or I don't know, to be honest, I was going to say, I know that it sounds bad. I don't know if it sounds bad. I couldn't care less if it sounds bad, but I'm just letting y'all know where I'm coming from. My value system is here. Whether Trump is elected or not, even if Kamala was elected, I would still be where I'm at right now. I think that the way that men are socialized makes me not want to be with men. I want what I want, and if I don't want it, I'm not going to try and make it work, because why? What's the point of me trying to compromise? Like, Eartha Kitt was so right.
If a man came into your life, wouldn't you want to compromise?
Stupid. A man comes into my life and I have to compromise? You must think about that one again.
She's so right. Compromise for what? Why? For a man? Why? You know, I get it. I understand. She spoke to my soul. She put to words how I feel. So here are some of the things that I love about the 4B movement, though. I want to wax poetic, and then I'm gonna tell y'all my reservations a little bit, but we're gonna start with the awesome part of it. I think 4B is amazing because it, to me, represents the shift in consciousness in women. It aligns with my worldview of masculine and feminine energy. Like, I talk about masculine and feminine energy because it colors our existence. Like, to me, it's like the zeros and ones of the matrix. I can break everything and anything down on the basis of this formula. And so I knew women were going to wake up. I knew that there was going to be a collective consciousness shift. I learned about it years ago. Seeing it come to fruition, seeing this movement, just it fills me with pride because it's shown me that there is a shift in consciousness. I think that the 4B movement is awesome as well because it is smart and effective. Even if women do not uphold this movement, I think that the fact that we've put it into the atmosphere, that it is out here now, and that it is a movement and women are kind of coming together in a kind of uniformity in a sense, even if it's a small subset of women, that is effective in saying that there is a problem. We're voicing our concerns and we're doing it collectively. I think that is amazing. And so that is another reason why I think the 4B movement is awesome. I think I said this earlier, but like, I'm gonna say it again. The last reason why I believe that the 4B movement is amazing is because it represents a return to consciousness. And I know I talked about the feminine waking up and that kind of thing, but I mean, this time when I'm saying consciousness, what I mean is that it represents women being like, okay, we're going to be very picky about how we interact with men. Like, if we don't have to interact with them beyond transactional, you know, I go to the CVS, you're the cashier at the CVS, give me my money, give me mine, whatever, then I'm not going to interact with y'all at all. Like, I think that that level of consciousness is so much needed because it feels like we as women have been opted in a system that does not work in our favor whatsoever. A lot of us are like trying to win at this system and it just, there's no winning. Somebody has said this. I'm going to find the quote and I'm going to stick it up here so that y'all can hear me ruin it in real time. But they said that if misogyny was a sport, women would not be the opponent, they would be the ball. Something like that. Or patriarchy was a sport, something like that. But yeah, we're not players in this game. We are objects in this game. And so I like the idea of the object becoming conscious, the object that has been used as currency. Us women have become conscious and we're deciding, hey, I don't have to play this game. I don't have to be a part of whatever this is. You know, if y'all want to do this, do it on your own. I love that. And as long as this movement is in place, I feel like there is something that will kind of show other women that they don't have to be a part of the games either. You know, so if there's women that are still opting in to romantic relationships with men and they're feeling like, you know, this sucks, this is awful, like I don't feel like an equal in this. I feel like I'm constantly having to concede my self-respect and I feel like I'm constantly having to make all these concessions. They can look to women who are part of the 4B movement and be like, you know, I don't have to do this. I can opt out as well. You know what I mean? So I like that idea of consciousness, like of worldwide consciousness happening little by little. I think that this movement is powerful. I think it's awesome. And I know that after everything that I've said about this, how amazing this movement is, I'm sure it's like, well, why aren't you trying to align yourself with it? Like I said, I'm going to do what I want to do. And that's why if this movement was called the Ick for Men movement, I'd be in it. I'd be in the men movement because that's how I feel. Like that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at, is men yucky movement. I'd be the president of that movement. I'd figure, you know what I mean? I'd mobilize all of us under that. Okay, so here are some of my reservations when it comes to 4B. And you know what? I'm sorry. Okay, disclaimer before I do this. I am coming from my own personal bias. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting that out there. I'm coming from my own personal bias. So take that with everything that I'm about to say because I could totally be wrong. And I invite anybody who is a part of the 4B movement to come into my comment section and let me know, like, get to the clicking and the clacking and let me know, no, Lizzie B, no, we're about this, we're that, about that. Keep it respectful though. Yeah, how long is this gonna last? That's what I'm concerned about. Can this last? Is this a statement or is this a way of life now? Like for the rest of one's life? Because where I'm at right now, I'm ready for the rest of my life to be man free. You know what I mean? I'm okay with that. Like I'm prepared for that. Like, that's where my ick is. Literally, I don't long secretly to be with men. I've never wanted children. Never wanted kids. So I'm automatically kind of adjacent to the movement. I'm automatically kind of in alignment with the movement because I never desired a lot of the things. Well, I'm not going to say never, because I never desired marriage and I never desired children. I liked dating. I liked romantic stuff, you know, and I liked sex, but like ultimately I never thought to myself, I gotta have a child, and like, that's not something that I'll ever have to come to terms with, that never happening. Like, I'm okay with that. I came to terms with that. I'm good. You know, I'm not missing anything in that regard. I don't want to carry on my legacy. I don't want to carry anybody else's legacy on. So for me, I can go the rest of my life and sleep every night peacefully at this point in my life, not romantically interacting with men ever again, or not dating, or, you know, anything like that. I'm good. If it happens, not the kid thing, but the marriage thing or the dating or the sex thing, okay, cool, whatever. But I really have to want that. And I don't know that that can happen with the way that men are socialized. So like I said, I'm ready to ride. I'm riding my value system out. Is 4B about that? Is it about that life? Is it about riding this thing on out all the way to the very end? You know, are women that fed up? Because the upsurge in people looking at my 4B videos after Trump got elected feels very reactionary to me. You know what I'm saying? Seems reactionary. Seems a little reactionary to me. How long is this gonna last? You know, women were interested in the 4B movement, but now everybody's like, for the rest of their lives, they don't want to this, that, and the other. And then on top of that, like I mentioned, I'm doing what I'm doing in my life because I want to. What's the value system? Is it men bad, or is it I am doing what I want to do? Are you doing this for you, or are you doing this for the movement? You know, and that's part of the reason why I talk about falling off the wagon, because it's like, are you doing something you truly want to do? Is it in you, or is it on you? And so that's one of my reservations when it comes to this movement, is that what are these values based in? Do you feel like you're punishing men by withholding your body, and then if a man acts right, are you going to give him your body now? Like, what is that, the reward, or are you doing what you want to do? And I know that maybe that might sound like I'm taking autonomy away from women who are making this decision for themselves. But, you know, I know that I'm speaking for myself. As when I was a younger woman, I was more easily influenced by groupthink than I am now. Now, like I said, I'm doing what I want to do because I spent so many years joining clubs and joining teams and making statements, and it's like, wait, no, do I want to do this? Like, I think that it's important for women to really, really understand why they're doing what they're doing. And so that's one of my concerns, is like, how's it? I keep thinking of the Glorilla song. What's the procedure? What's the procedure if somebody falls off the wagon? And then also that reminds me, it's like, as a person who came from a religious background, I think about how when there were rules and laws against, you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that, it just made it more tempting for me. And so it just felt like a diet, where it's like, ooh, I'm cheating on my diet. So if a woman falls off the wagon, she's might be likely to meet someone that does not meet certain standards because she's feeling desperate for attention or whatever it is that she think. Like, do you got the ick or not? You know what I mean? Like, are you on this diet because you are truly disgusted with men, or are you is this a diet and you're craving men, but you're like, no, I'm gonna stop because of Trump? Like, so that's kind of my reservations. I feel like this is the part of the video that I hate the most, because I'm like, I feel like I'm saying everything wrong. Maybe I should have wrote this out in the script. Sorry if you're watching this and you're like, she should have wrote a script. Sorry. Ooh, sorry. What are you doing? But yeah, I want to know that this is not a fad. I want to know that this is not a crash diet. I want to know that women are really doing this from the base of values. And with the 4B movement, I don't know. And like I said, if you are part of the movement and you want to put whatever, say whatever you want to say in the comments. Please do that. Like, if you're still watching and you're part of the 4B movement, say, put clickety clack in the comments, whatever, you know. But I think that's it. I think I said, what are the values? That's the last question that I have on my little like bootleg on my bootleg outline. What are the values? I am curious. Like I said, if this was called the men movement, I would be in. I'd be very much a part of this movement. But as it stands right now, I'm not sure if this is more of a statement or if this is more of a, you know, just way of life. Because for me, this is a way of life. But I think, again, it's a great movement, and I think it's making an impact, and it's going to make an impact. Oh, another thing. I don't know how online this movement is. I don't know if it's just people like me who are plugged into Twitter and Threads and Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. Like, I don't know how chronically online this trend, see, I don't know if it's a trend. I'll put it like that. I don't know if it's a trend. And so that's another concern that I have. Like, out in the regular, like in the analog world, people are getting married, people are continuing to have children, you know, people are just living their lives. And I think it's easy to just be so online that you feel like everybody's doing this. How can you not be a part of this? Don't you see what's going on? It's like people are out here really shoveling their sidewalks and doing real actual physical labor in the world. Like, people are living their lives. I don't know why I said shoveling sidewalks. I don't know if we ever gonna see snow again, y'all. I don't know. And so keeping that in mind and understanding that may influence a lot of people who are part of the 4B movement, because it's easy to say, you know, what you're not gonna do when you're online, but when you're out in the real world, I know that things happen. Nothing's picture perfect, nothing's cookie cutter. I want women's standards to be raised without it being a statement. I want women's standards to be raised on the basis of, I'm honoring my inner self. I'm honoring the God within, or my highest self, or my intuition, or whatever you want to call it. Like, that's what I want. I want the lever of control for women to be inside. And if we're all in alignment on that, amazing. It doesn't have to be a movement. It can be a movement. That's fine. Whatever you want to call it. But that's what I want. I want the values to stay the same, even if you change your mind. Even if you're deciding, you know, I met this person, I really like them. Keep those values intact. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on the 4B movement. I, again, think it's an amazing movement. I think it's awesome. And I ask a lot of questions because that's what I do. I'm an inquisitive person. And I challenge you all to be the same way. So that's it. That's my video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you liked it. Clickety clack if you got something to say. And I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.